Hello, how are you? My name is Chris Quinlan and welcome to Melbourne Musos, the drum show. Here we go. Tonight is all about African rhythms, okay? And what I'm doing here is using these little homemade implements. They're just little pieces of dowel. I got them from the hardware store. Of course, the major drumsticks companies sell them and all that sort of stuff, but I tend to find when you're really going at them, they don't last that long, so I ended up being a bit of a DIYer with it. So it gives me a fairly authentic kind of, you know, sound there. And what I'm doing tonight is African rhythms, okay? Now, a few episodes ago, I did a show called Counterpoint Drumming, where it was basically the feeling of playing two separate melodies. Splitting yourself in two, so to speak. And moving on from that, what I'm actually doing tonight is going to essentially take you through my grade 3 drum set manual towards the end, where I have simple arrangements for two drums, African drumming rhythms in its most simplest form, so that you can start to get into some of these most wonderful rhythms, you know, the Aconcon, the Akiwowo, the cuckoo, the fanger, you know, that kind of thing. Wonderful names. And what happens is, with this episode, what I've done is I've taken my triggers and I've patched them through my computer, African drum sounds. So I'm going to take you through the sounds first of all. Kind of a cowbell on my lowest floor tom. So a little bit of opposites there. You've got a very low tom, but with a cowbell. Okay, you've got another form of almost like a woodblock sound there. And then we're starting to get into different kinds of djembe sounds and things, right? Doumbeks, and although doumbek is more northern Africa, I'm thinking about more the area of Central Africa, really. Can you tell there's the shakers? Oh, where's my shaker gone? Hang on. There it is. Over here. Authentic djembe sound there. So that's what I've got. You know, these different kinds of sounds. Using these, I'll go to mallets and I'll use sticks throughout the show. Now, one of the things about how we can get into these two-part rhythms, okay, they're all two parts. Now, what I did, actually, I will go to this right now. What happens is that you've got two parts. If I was just to play a single stroke roll, and then I start adding flams. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and build it up a bit. A flam is essentially the drummer's version of a grace note. Okay, so what you have is you've got your main tap with a little grace note before it. I've mentioned in past episodes there's a couple of types of grace notes. You can have an appogatura, which is very wide. We will rock you. That kind of thing there. And then, of course, there's the Akiwowo, okay, which is very short and sharp, much more rudimental. Which is interesting to say rudimental when you can hear an African cowbell over the top of it. That kind of thing there. Now, I'll go back to my prepared drum set. And what happens is that when I start putting in these flams, like so. You can think of it as 16th notes if you want. 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4. All I need to do is put a stick on a different surface. Okay, so maybe that one. See, all of a sudden things change. You see. So what starts to happen is if we take some of our Western style rudiments, such as a flam accent, which is triplets, 1-ender, 2-ender, 3-ender, 4-ender, can also be counted in 6/8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but then you flam, okay, so flam accent, flam accent, flam accent, flam accent. Okay, sounding different because I'm using these and I've got triggers. So if I just change that up, put it on maybe this drum. All of a sudden you've got this very interesting rhythm. Put feet to it. So on. Putting a little bit of a pattern there on the bass drum. So that's what starts to go on. The other one that I might talk about is just the simple, humble little flam tap. If you can say it, you can play it. Flam, tap, flam, tap. Something like that, you see. Now when I start to put it together, I can start to get all these different combinations, right? Now, all I did then was a flam accent, flam accent, flam accent, so 2 3s are 6, and then a flam tap here. Okay? So on, right? And what goes on is that all of a sudden you have this feeling of 10, okay? 2 3s and 2 2s. 6 plus 4 makes 10. So on it goes. There you go. So that gets you started on these African rhythms that I'm just talking about tonight. So more after the break, hey? Beautiful.